Fire it will be, Stevie P. And yes, I will explain my attire, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got special correspondent, special guest, Stevie P. You give me the
Fire
go
tonight.
ahead.
Fire
My
tonight, guys. Had to make sure that we brought fire and we delivered fire.
fuego.
She's one half of a dynamic duo, but she is the fire.
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gents. Here we go.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Che sì, ed è gol!
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez, ancora lui, una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic, fuori classe assoluto!
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition, episode 216 of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan. Of course we can hear you, Hakan, because we're way above you, Milan. And hashtag bring the turtleneck back, Pioli, Milan. And we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be, but it seems like, Vinny, you got the dress code or the night wrong there, or the invitation didn't come in.
What?
But the 40-40 party was yesterday, not today.
It was yesterday. Well, no, me, I was ready. Because I know that David was gonna be over there, and I wanted to show up. I was gonna show up with this nice turtleneck, skin tight, as you can see. It's the high collar, Steve. You see, very nice, and it's burgundy, very burgundy. This is the Pioli, and we got to bring it back, Mr. Pioli. We're gonna get into it, but Stevie P, we have lots to talk about today, and. Yes, the Pioli turtleneck. I had to wear it. It's been. When did we buy these, Steve? About a year ago. But had to bring it out. It is winter time. But Steve, there was a big party in New York yesterday. But little do people know, we had our special correspondent working behind the scenes. Nobody knew. Nobody knew about these things. And let's just bring up. Did even her husband? No, I don't even know if her husband. Guys, welcome the first lady of Philadelphia, right? Angie, is with us. Fanta, you spelled your last name wrong, Angie. But thank you for joining us. And we asked you to be there, our special correspondent, to get us some news. But welcome. How are you on this fine evening? And I heard that you are Davidless tonight.
I am Davidless. I am fine despite being without David this evening. But I know he's out there listening.
Yeah, he's listening and he's creating some kind of bromance with Alessandro. You should be worried. He might be switching team.
He has so many romances at this point. I can't keep track of them. So, whatever. Yeah.
And yes, we're so happy to have you. And we are going to get to the party yesterday, and you're going to give us all the inside scoop. If there was any Wanda kind of stories and this kind of thing, and but before we get into that, we want to take a couple of minutes to talk about some housekeeping stuff. First and foremost, Stevie P, to our friend Zvanko in Sweden. Every year, the guy is top notch, and once again, Steve, we are Legenda from Milan Club Svezia, and he gave us let's get a hat for summertime. We got one each, and because he knows it's winter, we got a nice toque here, Milan Club Svezia. Thank you to Zvanko, and Zvanko, that nice message that handwritten, he just wrote, no, thank you for everything that you do for us. So thank you for Zvanko for always sending us some beautiful stuff. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Zvanko. You're the best.
And
you're the best Swedish person I know.
And we there's always Ibra, Steve, right?
He's still the best.
He's still the best. And thank you to everybody that showed up yesterday. Milan Club Montreal Presidente graced us with his presence for about 15-20 minutes, Steve. He was in and out. The helicopter came into the top of Chicharo's. He walked in, said hello to everybody, shook hands, kissed babies, gave out one prize over there. and back out he went. But we do have his list, Steve, of prizes. And he did the randomizer, but you know as well as I do that he wrote everybody's name on a little piece of paper. He scrunched them up and he put them inside a hat. But I know you couldn't make it. Happy belated birthday to your daughter, to Angelina.
Yeah.
How did you manage yesterday? Watching the game on the phone, celebrating?
Everything was done before.
Fantastic.
Just have to watch the game and wait for people to come over.
Did you take a look at the list of these winners, Steve?
Yes.
Of all people to win the first prize. So to announce contest winners for a Football TV, a free 3-month subscription for all Canadian culture fans, courtesy of Milan Weekly Podcast and Football TV. Our first winner, that garden snake, Francis Colo Giacomo. So he's won 3 free months of Fubo. And from Winnipeg, Vince Mancini. So you guys, congratulations, Presidente. We'll send you a fax or a telegram to get you all the information there. And to the other winners, for Milan Club Montreal, to a $30 gift card at Chicharo's, to Mario Trunzo that won yesterday. $50 gift card from Evangelista Sports. Luigi Lally, $50 to you.
UPS winner. What can Brown do for you? Luigi Lally.
The 3 free months of Football TV to Fouad. Fouad, I don't want to butcher your last name, so I'm sure we'll only have one Fouad in the Milan Club Montreal. Congratulations to you. Another 3 free months to Abraham. Abraham, my friend, we haven't seen you in a while. Hope we see you very soon. 3 months to you. The AC Milan cap to Christian Bellini, and the grand prize.
Mathematician. He's in my Fantacalcio, Christian.
He's a mathematician.
The guy, he's probably still on shift. He worked like a 17-hour shift yesterday.
And I'm sure he was able to watch the game.
Yes,
still managed to do it. And the grand prize, personalized Milan kit from Evangelista Sports to Anthony Mancini. Congratulations, guys. Presidente will get you guys all this information. Congrats to all the winners. And don't remember, guys, that special offer that we have. Check your emails. I think Presidente said we're gonna give everybody until Wednesday. So congrats. Great little turnout. But we're not gonna talk about our turnout, Steve. We're talking about the 40-40 club.
Before we do that, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Evangelista.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you to Fubu and Chicharo for putting up these great prizes for everybody to win. Guys, enjoy. I hope Francis's Fubu TV doesn't work and he can't watch anything.
Or unless he wants to watch those replays of, was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? Which we're going to be talking. But, Steve, there was a bigger gathering yesterday, in the capital of the world, New York City. And we have somebody with us that was there. So, Angie, please, explain to us, for us lonely people that don't live in New York or don't have, private jets that can fly from Philadelphia to New York in the span of 20 minutes and be there. But talk to us about, even Fabio, fellow Patreon, fellow member here, was there as well. So a nice picture with you guys. But take us through your day and how did the event go?
Well, it was pretty amazing. As an overall comment, started off, we took the train up from Philly, so that was nice. It was only an hour and a half, so we were very fortunate, but we were, of course, very fortunate to be invited by Franco and everyone in the Milan Club New York. It was really an incredible turnout and gathering of the super fans of this team, right, from the Northeast. The event itself was incredibly well run, well put together. And I will say we started out in meeting up in the park just outside the club, which the club is Jay-Z's club. I'm not sure if everybody realized.
Oh, yes, we know.
Jay-Z owns this. Okay, yes. So pretty nicely done inside as well. But we met out in the park out front to gather about an hour before the doors opened, and it was like going to a reunion, but a reunion where you actually wanted to see all the people that were going. So it was not like a high school reunion where you're trying to avoid people. It was like coming out of 2 years of COVID, very few people doing meetups, few people getting together, especially between all of the clubs. And it was just awesome to see everybody. We had people, Christian from Dallas, of course, who always joins us everywhere we go around the world. We had Boston, we had New York, we had Long Island. I consider that a different location altogether. And Philly, of course. So fantastic turnout to begin with, but then getting actually into the club was pretty incredible. It's a great setup. It's got stadium seating, as I'm sure you've seen from the photos and the videos. Everybody had plenty of room, plenty of space. checked everybody's vaccine cards on the way in, so that was a great plus. Everybody did the right thing and got their vaccines before gathering. And yeah, we got in probably situated an hour and a half before the match started, so everybody got to get some food, some drinks, great service. They put big buckets of ice on everybody's table and said, order what you want, and they'll bring it to you, which was really fantastic. A lot of Sauvignon Blanc flowing on the Fonte table.
Yes, I would like to
Yeah.
ask that, Steve. I don't know about you, but a glass of white wine is not particularly like the first choice that you want to be drinking at an event like this. But when you're the first lady and the president of Philadelphia,
Well.
Steve, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with the Chardonnay.
No, you cannot
Well-
lower yourself to the beer standards. You have to keep the standards of wine drinking at the highest level. From
This is an Italian sport, first of all.
Yes.
So, you got to keep it classy.
You
But
gotta-
I will
you-
say I started out with a Negroni in a nod to the aperitivo hour in Milano. So
very nice.
even though
And
the club wasn't sure quite how to make them. So,
how many would you say gathered in total if you had to estimate?
I don't know. Franco would know. Maybe he's on. He could type in the number. I have to think at least 250, maybe somewhere in there.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
That's
Yeah,
really
it was-
good, and it's it's a great thing. Not only we're talking about it for us North America, and not just specifically New York. Would it be us in Montreal, Toronto, you guys in Philadelphia? To be recognized that these kind of view parties and to have it at such a nice place. And when are the borders are opening? What, Steve? Tomorrow? We're actually thinking about it. What if we would have been able to just drive down and 296 Vaz? Wow, auguri.
296.
And the Fantes don't drink beer often, but when they do, it's white wine. Fuji's in Funyon. He's always there
Yeah.
with the
He's
comments.
there.
So
But-
true. That's so true.
But anything else you'd like to add about the evening or some shout outs? And the I was a little disappointed that David did not wear a turtleneck or maybe a foulard of some sort, no medallion. Steve was predicting the polo buttoned up all the way, but as long as you guys enjoyed yourselves, and that's the most important, right?
He kept it real classy. Yeah, always. No, it was just really incredible. We saw people that had started out with us in Philadelphia 8-10 years ago in the dark days of this team, and we were reminiscing a lot about the starting days of our club when there might have been 5 or 6 of us sitting around just watching us lose 5-0 to Sassuolo and that type of thing. And it's just amazing to see how it's grown and how many people we've met from all over the world that I gotta say are truly wonderful people, but there's not a lot of events that I go to. I'm not a people person, if you can believe that. Dave is the person in our family that has the personality, but yeah.
He likes to mingle.
He likes to mingle. He's great with people, and when I look forward to going to an event like that, that's something special because it's all the people around us. The match was pretty good. Right, as a Milan fan, couldn't pull off the win, which was unfortunate. But it was about the people and the gathering, getting together with.
And we're gonna get into that game, but before we do, and you know what, I'm gonna throw this out, Stevie P. Next one, if we have to organize it ourselves, we'll find a common city that everybody could just travel through and get all these North American groups all together for a big game. We're all gonna make it happen, and Milan will take notice, and it's only a question of time. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, very important.
Steve, you took away my the sharing screen. So very quickly, guys, let's talk about what happened on Tuesday with the Champions League game, and then we're gonna take it obviously directly to the derby from yesterday. But Stevie P, you on Tuesday watched this game. If you want to, your thoughts of what went on, people, talking about again, referees, the not call on Benacer, but in the end, it just wasn't good enough. Just the way you asked Sonny to put it on the thumbnail, right?
Yeah. So the thumbnail says it all. It's just not good enough. The 2 Porto matches were matches that Milan needed to win, at least to get back and to get into striking distance of both Atletico, the criminals, and Liverpool. Look, You saw by the performance. We saw we saw a great performance against Roma. We were all happy. We hoped that that would have translated to the Champions League, but we all know the Champions League is another monster. Everybody at the beginning of the group stages said, "Oh, Porto, we are in the group of death, and Porto is the weakest team." Unfortunately, guys, we have to take out the red and the black glasses and come to the conclusion that Porto have been in this league in the Champions League for quite some time,
Mhm.
have much more experience than our young team, and it's not an excuse because you saw the way Milan came out with for both games against Porto, just not good enough, and we did not get the result. And in the end, we have to come to the realization that in this group of death, Milan has been the weakest team.
Angie, do you share his sentiments? Like, was it? I know not many of us. Like, yeah, we always had that bit of hope, to try to win this game. But do you share sentiments about the game?
Yeah, I didn't see the match, but I felt like I didn't want to because I kind of felt like I knew
It
how it was
was
going to
not. It was
end.
not. It was not something that was for the calcio eye. It was very
Hmm.
sloppy from both Porto and Milan. I'm saying Porto got the result when we played them at home, and here they scraped out a draw. For them, it's mission accomplished, right? They're still in striking distance. They can still cause some damage. Milan, in terms of mathematically, are they out? No. Realistically, are we out? Absolutely. But besides that, this game I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Milan Post asks us all the time for tops and flops. There was not a lot of good from this Champions League matchup, and it's sad because the display against Liverpool, the display against Atletico Madrid, yes, it could have went different ways, but it did not. So we had to keep that momentum, and we didn't keep that momentum. And Milan showed their youth and showed that they don't have that experience in the Champions League under the bright lights, like I like to call them. And we end up with 1 point. We have 1 point, guys, after 4 games.
But still a good good experience kind of thing, Steve, for these young kids. So we'll see what comes up of it. And the next game, I believe, is in a couple of weeks, so we'll see what musters up from over there. But everybody's here to talk about yesterday's game. Obviously, it's derby time. It's always something special. The gatherings would it be
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
what?
hold on. Is it a practical joke or he pushed
Did
the
he
button by
screw up?
mistake?
Did he put 2-1? God damn it, Sonny. I don't know if Sonny's been too much beer money that I've been giving him, but Sonny. So Inter won yesterday, according to Sonny. But yeah, so we're just gonna disregard that score. And I even checked. The worst part is that it's always the ones that are like blatant that you don't catch. But no, guys, no spoiler alert. It was definitely 1-1. But Steve, gatherings across the world, whether it be Angie in New York, us in Montreal, everyone around the world, and I would just like to tip my hat off first off to, and that's going to be my no, actually no, it will not be La Curva Sud with their choreography. Not making it. I don't remember last time I did not see a choreography that didn't make it about the team and talking about the first responders. What a great choreography, and the electricity was in the air, and that great feeling, and didn't start the best of ways, right? And so I wanted to ask you before we get into the Hakan, Steve. I'm going to start off with you. The selection of putting Diaz on the right and Krunic in the middle. What did you think at looking at the starting lineup, especially on a derby? Were you worried? Were you like head scratching? What did you think?
I have no problem with them trying something different because we've been really struggling on the right wing. Would it have been a better option to maybe try Krunic on the wing? We've seen him on the wing. It's not really something that has worked in the past. So look, Diaz, we have seen him on the wing. I think he was out of his element.
Hmm.
Is it worth the risk? it was worth the risk because it just makes it very, very obvious that we don't have a solution for the right wing. And that's how bad it is that he did not trust Salchicha Maker. He did not have Castillo available. And we had to roll the dice with this. And this is not the only dice that he rolled.
No.
And I think this was probably in the end a mistake. And the Balotore was a mistake.
So, Angie, how about you? Was it like these are the kind of things? It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Like, do you go with the same formula? You try to screw up the opposition to put like a different player there. But how about you, or even David? What did you think about the starting lineup? Were you confident? Were you scratching your heads? What did you feel about having Diaz there on the right?
I like the starting lineup. I didn't have a problem with it. But don't forget, Steve Balotore ended up saving a goal in the end. He was in the right place at the right time in the end.
True, you're right.
So, from the beginning of the game, it looked a bit nervy, and I want to get into it 10 minutes in, Steve. So, I don't know what went through Kessie's head, losing that losing the ball, and I don't know, brain fart. You look at the replay, looks like Hakan is protecting the ball, but his leg is on top of Kessie's. Penalty called for Hakan. He gets the score. He does his stupid fucking celebration, but no, only Ibra gets yellow cards for celebrating against the La Curva. But Steve, penalty? Yes, no?
Yes.
And please explain why to you it is a penalty.
So that's my indigestion of the week. My indigestion of the week is Milan Twitter because, guys, whether we like it or not, both calls were penalties. And justfully so, because this Kessie penalty, you want to get mad at someone, get mad at Frank Kessie for falling asleep, switching off in the derby, which, again, I was completely shocked with, having Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who's not known for his defensive or his ball recuperation, steal the ball, and then having no choice. Once Hakan is inside of Kessie, there's going to be a foul. And you're in the box, and it's going to be a penalty. My indigestion comes with, guys, if you've watched Milan for the past 2 years, we have survived, lived, and have really made an emphasis on how much commotion and disaster we cause in the opponent's box. And we have gotten penalties, guys, for much, much less. So don't start looking at still images of the incidental contact or the ball or the clipping. The rule is the rule. And if you switch off in a game, especially as important as the derby, you will get punished. And Kessie, in this derby, for some reason, switched off. Is it going to be his last derby? I'm betting my money yes.
There was one of the refs, ex-refs on sports media says yes, because he's protecting the ball itself. And maybe the problem is that we've seen so many of these calls go the other way around. There's not a set rule. But how was the sentiment in New York, Angie? Was obviously probably like in Montreal, everybody screaming and yelling, but rewatching it, do you agree with Steve that unfortunately, it was a penalty?
It looked like a pretty mangled mess on the replay.
Yeah, that's
really
well
did.
said. Well put. It was mangled.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the thing that kills me about it, though, is that it was those two. It was those two. They were so tight, so close. They were the two that you would watch every week. Look at this bromance. It's so great. And it's the personal part of that one that kills me. Hakan, I defended him for so long when everybody else hated him and wanted him to go. And there's a bit of me that's got a little tiny little conspiracy theory turn on this thing. Like they somehow got together and planned this ahead of time. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems very
overruled. Overruled. That's we
it's
cannot
too-
get into these. We cannot get into these conspiracy theories, please. They're gonna come after us, Angie. You don't understand the
Yeah.
you're gonna have to take some time, and you're gonna have to be replying to a lot of comments if we go with this with this conspiracy theory. But you brought up a good point, and it's something that I want to bring up as well. So you see how you went so deep into this mini story.
Mhm.
Everybody went so deep into the Hakan Chanaloglu celebration. Everybody went so deep into these small, little, insignificant storylines that we forgot that we're playing a derby, guys.
He got under our skin, and we let him get under our skin.
And this is how culture has changed. Things like this would not even hit the radar, guys. And
No.
for me, this was one of the best derbies that I've seen in a long time. Not the best played, but entertainment factor, the timing of the watch parties in Dubai and New York City for Americans to watch, CBS, Paramount, they hit top-notch gold. The only thing that was missing for an American sports watcher, a neutral of Calcio, was a result in the end in terms of someone winning. Because in America, we have no fucking idea of how a game can stay tied. Because almost nothing that we play can stay tied. There has to be a winner. In European soccer, that was the only thing that missed.
Yep.
But these small stories and these small little things, we see how it takes over in Europe, where we're focusing on the negative instead of focusing on the positive. And this is where Serie A and Calcio need to change.
I'll agree with you to a certain point. I think it's mostly us, not you. We're especially our generation, Steve, that we're used to the ex-player, like no celebrating, accepting the fact. The only thing I didn't like is he have the right to, like, Dovolacuru, because people bombarded him, and you guys saw his Trishone today basically call him, like, you don't have any guts. Guts is not scoring a penalty in the 10 minutes, is staying with your wife even though she cheated on you. These are kind of things, like, it's all these little, Steve, in reality, we have to take a look at, even though this game, we didn't play the best of games, but we had every opportunity to win this game in the end. And I'm going to give my not my indigestion, but my Birioshka of the week, Alessandro Florenzi. Thank you, but you could have got red carded on there. I don't know if you guys saw, like, he got onto the pitch and screamed at Hakan, saying, like, he was pretty mad. I don't know if you guys saw, it was all over Twitter. Not an emotional move, but not the best of moves, because he could have gotten, like, definitely red carded on that one. And I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know what you thought about that, Angie. I don't know if you saw Florenzi coming on and you didn't see it. Steve,
I didn't see it.
did you enjoy Florenzi's little mishap, or is it again
smart move.
nitpicking?
It's a smart move by a smart soccer player.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you why. Because when you're not playing well, when you're on a new team, when obviously the coach didn't have the faith to put you at right wing, you want to have some sort of way to get the fan base and your teammates behind you. That was good. Even if he takes a red, hey, look, you didn't trust me to play in the derby, but this guy's celebrating on my home pitch. This is a Romanista, guys.
Yeah.
This is a Romanista through and through. Not Milanista whatsoever. He will retire from probably playing soccer somewhere in North America if he goes to MLS, or if he decides to hang up his boots, he will be known as a Romanista. But he understands what it means to play a derby.
Yeah.
And he did not take it lightly. And that's the fire that I needed to see from Kessie. That's the fire. I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion now. That's the fire that I thought I was going to see from Ibra. And we did not see that. And we wanna get on the parade. We want to get on the bandwagon. I saw everybody yesterday jump on the train. Good result. Guys, let's all take off our red and black glasses. Forget about the 40-40. Forget about Milan putting on a viewing party. We could have easily been down 2-3-1 in the first half. Easily.
It hurts to say, and it's a good result because in the end, I think Inter played better, but those last 15, 20 minutes, we had the opportunity. And now we had the own goal that Tomori looked like he thought he had scored there, tied it up at 1-1. And how did everybody jump up on that goal there in New York? I think everybody jumped up and around the world on
Oh
that
my God,
one.
yeah.
And,
Of course.
and it seemed like to calm down the game a little bit from there. And obviously what happens, then we have the second penalty. And I was remember looking at the statistics. I think it's the first time in I don't know how many years that there's 2 penalties in the first half. And on this one here, same thing, Steve. Touching the ball, not touching the ball. Look at the rules. It is a penalty. But during the Patreon special, I said to me, my dark horse was going to be Tiramisu. And wow, did he come through. Lautaro Martinez coming on. And how did you take his performance, Angie, Tiramisu? Do you think, he played the... Yeah, everybody's got a nickname, right? But he pulled through for us, right? And what did you think about his performance?
That was my favorite moment of the whole match, was when he saved that goal. And I had a feeling he was going to on that second one. I don't know what it was. I really like him. I think he's been a backup for so long. He's finally getting his chance. And I remember him having been good those few times he was in when Donnarumma was still around. But I'm really happy for him. I just wish he would grow his hair out. He had much better hair before. He had more of like a tonale length going on.
You like the
This is my
Beatles
angle,
look, huh? You
okay?
like the Beatles look,
Yeah.
Angie. And
Yeah.
David has no hair.
Oh, man,
David's calling Turkey for some hair implants soon.
And Angie probably has like her phone background is Tatarusano with like the long hair from last season. But
Right.
no, he definitely. Then again, Angie, you were still infatuated with Rodriguez, right? When we had him at Milan.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's all about the hair.
Yeah.
It's all about the hair.
My first reaction once he saves that is the next day, if Milan gets a result or not a result, someone at Gazzetta dello Sport had chiedete scusate at Tatarusano. Because guys, from Milan Weekly Podcast to Gazzetta dello Sport to Radio Rossonera to IFTV to CBS Paramount, if anybody says they knew that he was going to have a performance like that, I call bullshit, and I will tell you to never tweet or write about soccer again. So this guy here has been a career backup. He has been someone who has not played very much. We had Gigio Donnarumma, who played almost every game in every situation, got in once or twice there. He's behind another one, Mike Mangione now, who, if he doesn't get hurt on his hand, I can bet you Tatarusano plays maybe 3 to 4 games. I have to give my personal apology because I was rough on him. I was very tough. I think he's not good moving the ball. I think he showed zero confidence up until the derby. Another guy, you want to win a fan base over? You want to make them forget that your starting keeper, who's fantastic playing the ball out of the back, is not playing? Stop a penalty shot in the derby. This guy can do no wrong now. Curva Sud will never make fun of him again. The Milan pundits on on Milan's official Twitch will never say anything again because he preserves the result for Milan. And you see that a player like Tatarusano, Tiramisu needs to get some games in. The problem is how do you roll that dice? You had someone like Gigio Donnarumma that stopped everything and was good for 10 to 12 points last year. Now you replace him with someone equally as good, if not better, with his feet, and at least is playing now, not sitting on the bench, because I also watched PSG Bordeaux this weekend, and Gigi Donnarumma sitting on the bench again. So Tatarusano, with some extra game time, you see he's getting a little bit more comfortable. And one of the things that surprised me a lot, and the leadership of Kajar, is as badly as he screamed at him the last time, he went up and he knew that he saved them at least 2 points. At least 2 points.
Definitely. And
but the penalty shot, guys, is caused by pretty much the most... How can I be nice about this? It's very hard. I have never seen a professional player get turned around like a Taralli the way Balutore got turned around. In the professional game, I have never seen that. Theo Hernandez is not a good defensive player. Not. I would have took Theo Hernandez 100 times, obviously because of his offensive ability. But seeing Balutore get turned around, and I think this moment, this derby for Balutore showed that yes, he's had some great, he's got some good performances. The Cagliari, the Bologna, that's great. But in a big match like the Derby della Madonnina, this was too much of a big stage for him. And guys, you wanna nitpick, you wanna look again at still images. Look at the fact that he defended that almost as bad as I would defend it right now at 40 years old if you put me on that pitch. I can get turned around like a Taraldi on that pitch, not Balutore, who's getting paid to play.
And sometimes it's easy to forget like a mistake like that when you have a penalty save and the moment of Tiramisu getting remembered. But speaking about moments, Angie, we're thinking about that. Inter looked like they were playing better, more organized. But we have Salad Maker getting a post. Then you have Kessie missing an open goal. Leao missing. So it looks like even though we don't have the greatest of games, we had every opportunity to win this one, especially in the last third. But in all, are you happy, or are you with Steve here saying this could have gone worse? We could have won this game. Just talk to us about your feelings, Angie.
I'm never happy with a draw against Inter, but I'm happier than if we lost. And I just, there's something about the derby, right, that's always going to rattle them a little bit. No matter how seasoned they are, it's an important match. I'm happy because we're still tied for first. I'm happy that Napoli tied. I'm happy that we're on a trajectory. I still think we're on an upward trajectory, and I'm still on that Scudetto bus with Dave, right?
Of course.
So
Of course. But no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? Results like this, it also depends on the situation. Had Napoli took full points from Hellas Verona, much more disappointed. Also Milan doing their job and promoting the game on this side of the pond in an atmosphere that you guys were in an atmosphere that Vinny and and the guys from Milan Club Montreal, Maurizio and the guys from Toronto, the guys from Milanista, you see them at the Curva. With that type of atmosphere that the club is creating not only for themselves in terms of branding and marketing, but instilling a confidence in these fan clubs and these supporter groups, we start to understand that there's situations where we can say, you know what, we're going to take these points and we're going to run.
It is time for our Milan Post friends to name our tops and flops of the game. And I'm Steve. I know I was going to have the exact same one as you. Let's begin with our flops of the game. You just mentioned them before. I'm with you on that one. Are we on the same page to say that Ibra for us was the flop? And before Twitter catches fire, it doesn't mean we hate Ibra. It doesn't mean that we think he sucks. For us, he was just the flop of the match because we were expecting a lot more from the game. For me, it's got to go with Ibra. Stevie P, who's your no?
Balutore
for you?
Yes. No. I know he saves the online the online clearance, but this was not a stage that was something that he was comfortable with.
So Balotore, for me, it's got to be Ibra because I was expecting him to have more of an impact on the match. Angie, how about you? Who would be your flop of the match?
I haven't thought much about it, but I think I would go with Ibra too. He's so seasoned. He could do better than he did.
Especially
he needed the team. He needed to lead the team on this one.
Yeah, and I get it, and I get that he could have done better. You have to give props, and I hate doing this. but Skriniar and Bastone pretty much neutralized Ibra, and we saw a bit of his age in this derby because
It hurts to say and admit, you're
he was not allowed to hold the ball. He was not allowed to get involved in any of the plays. He was just almost tossed aside. Sometimes it looked like we were playing with 9 men. And that's something that's a bit scary, and that's something that I hope Milan can really have an honest discussion with him and say there's times where, you know, I think that it would be best as a super sub, and I think at times it'll be best that you start, but I don't know if he has 90 minutes in his legs anymore.
surprised that he even, like he played all that long there. But again, before everything catches fire, I do not hate Ibra. It's just a flop for me. People, take it easy. And how about the tops of the match? I, you know, I gotta go with Tiramisu on that one because to me he really overexcelled the performance. I wasn't expecting that, unless the people that like to say, "Oh, I knew he was gonna have a great game and save this penalty." I'm gonna have to go with him, Stevie P. Who for you your top?
Yeah, look, I liked Tiramisu. He was good. I think Tomori was really good too. But that midfield again, I'm gonna take him because I was really pissed off at the substitution, and I think he was our most dangerous player in the first half. Leao looked really good. I saw someone here flop Leao. You gotta rewatch the game. You gotta, and I'm obviously someone who's really, really hard on Leao. I think having to cover for Balotelli defensively, having to provide some sort of spark offensively for Milan, and a lot of the situations were very difficult for him because, yeah, me too. I said, hey, why is he trying to take on everybody one on one? The problem with that is that Leao and Inter wanted him to be on the ball with someone one on one because more times than not, they were going to be able to recuperate the ball from him. They were not going to let him. But I think in the first half, he was probably our best player. And I think in the second half, it was a negative change by Pioli to take him off.
Angie, how about you? Who would be your top of the match?
Yeah, Tato Rusano. Yeah, it was just he's just
Angie, we need you to
himself.
scream, Angie. I need you to bring fire here. If it's Tatarusano, you scream Tatarusano.
I'm supposed to scream. I don't scream, Steve. I'm very even keel. This is why Dave and I have been married 17 and a half years. I don't yell.
All right, so we have two for Tatarusano and even Tonali. People mentioning Tonali too. Tonali had a good game as well. And Angie, I know we had told you that we're going to keep it for the whole show. Are you okay to go through Serie A results with us? You can just I don't know if you watch some of the games.
There's more in the Milan game. There's more.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
to
Steve.
talk about the changes.
The
You have
changes
to
were
talk about the Christmas gift that was given to us by Signore Simone Inzaghi once again. And this, guys, you have to videotape me. You have to send it to Jerry Mancini because he thinks that Simone Inzaghi is the next coming of Arrigo Sacchi or Jesus Christ for the bench. What a dumb change by Simone Inzaghi to remove Barella from this game. Thank you, Simone Inzaghi, because what you did, the merda that you did at Lazio, you did it for this derby. He completely destroyed his team. And all the Interists have to know, he's not a genius, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Simone Inzaghi. He irritates me. I find he's a crybaby. And I don't find he's a good coach. If you can't see from last year, the game against Milan, where he decided that it was going to be smart to take out Ciro Immobile and Luis Alberto for us to win it in the end, I'm sorry, guys. There's a problem there.
saying Barella was hurt. That's what the messages are going up.
La scroppa di minchia. I call bullshit on that. That's a dumbass change to go take out Barella. Barella's injured. Magically was injured. He ran the whole game, was not into contact with anything, and he's injured. That's the stupid change. It's a dumb change, and he he almost cost Inter 3 points.
All
On
right.
the flip side, I'm going to give shit to a bit Mr. Pioli.
He could have easily been maybe Steve the flop of the match because maybe he got a lot of
Look,
substitutions
he
wrong.
got a lot of things wrong. The Balutore was, I get you want to give the guy confidence, but the way I look at it is like they're gonna see what they see in training. I can just tell you what I see from the games that I play, that I watch, is that I get Balutore, but if you go in the pecking order of people that have been at Milan longer, Kalulu has been here longer. You've seen Kalulu more than you've seen Balutore. Kalulu has experienced 2 Derby della Madonnina, Balutore 0.
And
There's
Kalulu's a real
talent,
soldier.
there's form, but there's also you have to use your head. Okay? And not starting Kalulu, for whatever reason, mistake. Diaz on the right, we know that we should never see Diaz on the right again. This is Mr. Maldini with the same turtleneck like Vinny and Stevie P, all 285 pounds of me that's been saying it for 2 mercatos in a row. Go get me a fucking right wing to play on the right of my Milan.
We did these Messiahs. He's just hurt.
Go
to there
get
on
me
this
a fucking right wing to play on the right hand side of my Milan because I'm getting nervous now. Everybody shits on Krunic. He's not in the correct position. He's a filler. He's like the caulking that you put on your windows so that you don't make water come in.
But how bad of a confidence dump is it not starting Salad Maker, right? So it's damned if you do that.
But you got to go by performance. He's not been playing good. As soon as Salchicha Maker signed his extension, he thinks he's someone else than Salchicha Maker. That's a problem. Someone needs to talk to him. He's drifting in the middle. He's drifting to the other side. Guys, these are the things that I see. People might call me out as crazy, but he has not been playing good, and he did not deserve to start. For Pioli to say, hey, I need to find a solution, that's a big problem. But the switch of Leao Rebic, and I'm not saying that I did not want to see Rebic on the field, but not for Leao. Yeah. Come on, guys. This is more of a negative change. That Inter were saying, oh, this is great. The only guy on the left-hand side who could have done anything, they're taking him off. So as bad as I destroyed Simone Inzaghi for the Barella substitution, Pioli for that, I think he got it all wrong. He got it all wrong. That changes the derby, guys. It changes a lot.
It does, but even if all those changes, we still had the chance to win this game. We probably wouldn't have deserved to win it, the way we played. But again, there's arguments on both sides, right, Steve?
If I don't give the flop of the match to Balutore, Ibra was lucky because I'm going to give it to someone else. Someone who's been here the longest, and I have been an advocate of this guy. And I have never, ever, ever seen him play a derby this relaxed and this low-key and this nonchalant. Frank Kessie, ladies and gentlemen, is on his way out the door, guys. Because that's not the Frank Kessie that has been on this team for. He knows out of everybody else in that dressing room what the derby means. And to see him after, which is, again, another indigestion. I'm going to add another indigestion to this.
Might as well.
To see him, and I know he's a happy-go-lucky guy and smiling and everything, on that rebound from Salchicha Maker's post, miss the net completely again from inside the box and smile about it, that, guys, for me is worse than Hakan Çalhanoğlu celebrating on us. That's worse than anything because you're in the moment there. The body language of Frank Kessie is get me out the door. And if the body language of Frank Kessie is get me out the door, why do you substitute Sandro Tonali for Benacer?
It's a good points there, but it's easy to say that. But then if he's mentally checked out as a coach, I'm sure he would have noticed. So why did he play?
He's not mentally checked out. He's not. Don't say mentally checked out.
No, like the body language or
but the body language and the just laissez-faire attitude in this derby. Look, the derby, guys. We get emotionally riled up, and we have nothing to do with it. Now, I know the soccer player has changed. I know football has changed, but these players have to feel the pressure.
Hmm.
If he's going there, like as if he's playing against, no disrespect to Sassuolo, Udinese, Empoli, Vicenza, Venezia, guys, this is a problem, guys.
It's a good point. You, Angie, do you think the whole Kessie? What do you think? You think he's gone in January?
Well, I have this bad habit of defending every player until the last minute. So,
It's fine.
I still don't want to admit that, half the team is gone. So, yeah, I have a problem with that. But I'll always support Frank as long as he's on the team.
Look at us with all the players that Steve has usually trashed. They all came back and played a lot better. So you see, we're onto something. But now it is time. It is time to talk, Steve. We're okay for Serie A, yes.
Squilla di tromba. Yes, I'm done with the derby. Next.
So let's start it off. This game I did watch the last half an hour. Juventus pulling it out last second once again. And Steve, I'm gonna say it. I don't know, these 1-0 wins. I think they're just band-aid salute. They're hiding the fact. And you
They're
keep
shit.
what is it? 3 weeks? 3 weeks in a row. You're saying
They're shit.
there's a problem.
They're shit.
There's yes. Did you watch
Juventus
this game?
is shit. Juventus is terrible. They had 2 shots on goal, I think, in the entire 90 minutes. And one, guys, please, for the people who do this professionally and people who write professionally, please, guys, Cuadrado's goal is not an autoreta, but don't tell me it's the shot of the century here, guys. It deflects off the keeper's foot. If he shoots that ball another 100 times, he does not score. And he saves Juve 3 points. The rest was garbage. Everybody from top to bottom, garbage. Juventini, unfortunately, they don't know how to take out their black and white glasses. So I'm constantly fighting with everybody, telling them of how much they suck a fucking ass. They want to or can't afford right now to re-sign. This is the latest today. Morata is still owned by Atletico Madrid, and they want $35 million for Alvaro Morata, who doesn't understand what the offside rule is. He doesn't.
They were up a man too, huh, Steve? Like for at least what, good 15, 20 minutes? If you're
Yes.
got the
Yes, and that was dumb. That was a dumb double yellow. Like this is what Fiorentina does to themselves. It's like self-punishment for this. They had no reason, and especially them. They've always gotten fucking destroyed by Juve in the transfer market. Juventus took Baggio away from Fiorentina. The Juventus and Fiorentina is not a derby, but it is a derby. They hate each other, and it's beautiful like that.
Yeah.
And then they went and take Bernardeschi. And then they went and take Chiesa. So the Fiorentina people, after this game, if I'm a Viola fan, I'm pissed off because this is a game that they could have had.
I don't know if you're able to watch any highlights, Andrew. Do you agree that there is a problem at Juventus? And we definitely love seeing it, but I don't know if Allegri is losing more hair. Do you have any thoughts on the Juventus status or maybe the game itself?
No, I didn't see the match, but I just love this season. I think it's really fun to watch Juventus just shit the bed every week. I think it's really a unique, fun opportunity to finally see them just slide down the table, have all of their supporters act like there's nothing wrong. We're just, having a dry spell, whatever it is. It's like sit back, pop the popcorn. I'm just going to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's popcorn. It's popcorn time, man.
Because they did it to us while we went down, right? So we're gonna do the exact
Yeah.
same thing to them. And yes, they need to realize there are big problems there, and not just on the pitch, Steve, financially as well. They have a lot of things to.
Not making fourth place for Juventus, for any of the teams, not making fourth place or making Champions League football for Juventus is the most damaging. The most. And if people can just please stop on Allegri, you cannot make shit from shit.
You can't make you're like chicken. You can't make chicken soup out of chicken shit. You just can't make shit out of
whatever.
shit.
You cannot. But he cannot make shit from shit.
All right.
Besides Chiesa, there's not much going on that team. Chiesa, There's a bright spot in the future. Locatelli, maybe yes, maybe no, but you cannot play midfield by yourself. You cannot win a game with two guys. The rest are just not pulling up their panties to get these results.
Steve, do you want to any of these games here that you want to, because they're asking for it? So next game, Steve, you pick which one you want to talk about.
Venezia, Roma,
Oh, yes.
Roma, Roma.
Are you skipping Torino because you don't want to talk about Rodriguez?
No,
Oh my
there's
God,
nothing with
Angie,
Torino. That's
this
fine.
is-
Roma, Roma.
Oh my God, Steve! I do not understand how they lost this game. I don't, and I'm watching it. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then, Steve, can you believe it? Roma fans crying wolf that it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a penalty that they
Of
awarded
course,
on
of course.
the. It wasn't. It wasn't the very. But how do you go up? You go down 1-0. You come back up 2-1. They get the penalty 2-2. Then on the counterattack, and this was the whole game, Steve. I don't know if you watched most of it, but attack, 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 attack. Oh, counterattack and almost a score. And seeing Mourinho's face, wow. And complaining. What did you get from the
This is just not a Mourinho style coach team. He does not give up 3 goals, and he does not give up leads. So again, Roma and Romanista fans, Milan has been and has gone through a banter era for 10 plus years, guys. 10 plus years we've had shit. And you know what? Myself, Vinny, and everybody here, we've tried to make, the Menez, the Alexes, the Rodriguez's,
The Rodriguez's is
make them out to something that they're not, guys, okay? Roma's just not deep enough. Roma needs an investment. Mourinho needs players. He obviously took, he annihilated 5-6 of them after the 6-1 loss to Werder Glunk. Who did they lose against in the Confederation League?
We'll go with what you just said. Bodo.
Yeah. So like besides
Buddha.
Pellegrini and besides Zaniolo, and okay, we're gonna add Tammy Abraham there just to make all the Romanista happy. You don't have much. Mkhitaryan, he doesn't like Mourinho. Mourinho doesn't like Mkhitaryan. He went from amazing last year to obviously a bit of a problem this year. The defense is in shambles. Mancini picked his long-lost relative Mancini for the national team, but Roma's defense is terrible.
They're waiting on Spinazzola, but how about you, Angie? What do you think about all these Roma tears that we've been seeing for the last couple of weeks? Because it's not their fault that they're losing Roma and Mourinho.
No, so right now my favorite part is watching Mourinho complain about things that are completely out of his control. And yesterday I saw this post about him saying, "Oh, now I understand what happened in the transfer market before I was here because it's always somebody else's fault." And it's more popcorn. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna sit back and watch the drama because it's entertaining.
It isn't. I don't know how a coach, Steve. I don't know if you saw he posted on Instagram maybe 4 or 5 days ago. A still image of a penalty shot from Juve and one from Roma, and he's like, "Guess which one of these had to be retaken?" And like, what are you doing, dude?
But those are mind games. That's fine. It's okay. That's what he does.
You're a coach.
That's what he does. That's what he does. He's done it all his whole life. He takes away the pressure from his team. He tries. For me, it's the Roma fans.
Do you panic as a Roma fan, Steve?
Panic?
Yeah.
There's no panic, Vince. They suck. They suck. Like, guys, I'm fed up. Oh, we've been representing Serie A in the Champions League for the last 7 years. You've won shit. You've won nothing. Roma, Napoli, Lazio, all you stupid fans of those stupid teams, take this, record it. Again, you have won nothing. Inter and Milan have given you a window of 10 plus years to try to win something, and you just made Juventus win 9 Scudettos in a row. I blame you guys. I blame you guys. As much as I blame Milan and Inter for not having their financials intact, I blame you guys. And don't come with these Roma tears and like, we're doing this great, and the freaking family has to freaking invest. You want to win? Fucking invest. You had great players. You had to sell them because that's the only thing I give them. That's the only thing I give them. Financial fair play only applied to the Italian teams, and Roma got caught in there.
Yeah, that's
Roma
true.
got caught in there, and they had to sell their players so that they would abide by financial fair play. That's the only excuse I give them. But the Lazio fans, the Roma fans, the Napoli fans, I am not going to be sad, and I'm not going to be cheering for you to win the Scudetto. I cheer for one team, and I cheer for Milan. And I don't care who scores or how we get the points. I want to win the Scudetto before you teams. Because then for the rest of my life, if I get hit by a truck, I was right for 10 years. You want to win the Scudetto, you have to spend. You want to win the Scudetto, you have to pony up some money. That's how you win.
Preach, Stevie P. I love it when he's on fire, guys. Give it up for Stevie when he's on fire. I love it like that. Steve, on this
Stevie's on
thing,
fire.
do you have any other game that you want to touch base before we go to the second slide? Yes, Angie's Rodriguez Torino, they lost to Spezia. We'll leave it at that. I watched a bit of Atalanta, Cagliari. Cagliari, Steve, in shambles. I don't know if you wanted to touch base on that one.
Cagliari does it to themselves. If you have Walter Mazzari on your bench, we said it last week, he's known for a shot where he crunches a water bottle. That's all he did in his life. So if you
And the watch, don't forget the watch.
If you decide that for Cagliari that was your best option, I'm sorry, that's on you, Cagliari, because you do not have a team that has to be in last place. You do not have a team that has to be coached by Walter Mazzari. You can get off, and Sassuolo is very good at that. Sassuolo lost De Zerbi, needed another coach. They did not recycle a coach. They could have easily gone and say, hey, Eusebio De Francesco, you did great with Sassuolo 5 years ago. Come back. Soccer changes, soccer evolves, and the carousel of coaching that Genoa, Cagliari, Sampdoria, Udine is pretty good, but those three teams, that coaching carousel and merry-go-round that they do, that's why they're in the relegation zone. It's
probably gonna
not
stay there too,
complicated,
Steve.
man.
They're probably
They're gonna stay there. They're gonna stay there. It's crazy.
But Atalanta didn't, to me, it wasn't too impressive. We'll see where they end up. I think they've peaked and it's on the way back. But Angie, now you have a new slide. You get to pick which one you wanted to give your comments or your feelings about on this one here. Do you want to go with the
I didn't see any of these matches, but what I want to know is, where is Gennaro Gattuso in all of the coaching carousel? Where's he going to land and when?
What was their last room? I think there was before Conte was available to talk about Tottenham or Steve. Is he going to get another chance in Italy? I'm not sure.
Would have been better than Walter Mazzari at Cagliari, that's for sure.
Oh man, when did he do that watch thing? Was he at Napoli back then?
Napoli, the watch,
the water bottle,
the Lette bottle that exploded in his hands. Like, come on, guys, this is ridiculous. But it's a good thing. I always forget about Gattuso because I think of him only at Milan and then a little short stint at Napoli. The Fiorentina experiment, in terms, I didn't think it was going to work, and it didn't. He didn't even coach a game for Fiorentina.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, Fiorentina may have benefited from it because Italiano seems like he knows what's going on, and I think if Rocco Commisso decides that he wants to stay in Serie A and he wants to invest in Fiorentina, I hope Fiorentina can make it back to the Seven Sisters, because right now they're out of the Seven Sisters.
And forgot to even mention, thank you, Alessandro, to mentioning. Yeah, we forgot. Congratulations to Sheva, coach at the Genoa. Best of luck to him. Maybe his first ever, because he never started with a club, I believe, Steve. I always with the national team. I'm not 100% sure, but
that's not a good adventure. That's not going to end well.
You don't think so?
No.
Steve,
Genoa still has Gordon Pandev on their team.
By the way,
Pandev.
Yes, and speaking of these players, thank you. Regina played Cosenza this weekend, and we won with German Dennis and Jeremy Menez on the bench. Thank you very much, Forza la Regina. Steve, which one do you want to pick out of this list?
Well, while we talked about the derby, we're not going to pick that one. I watched Udine Sassuolo, very good game, another exciting game. I don't know what happened to Sassuolo, to be very honest. There's no reason they should have lost this game. Udine was not creating anything, and they let them back in.
It was 2-2 after the first half, was it not?
Yeah, the Domenico Berardi was really good for Sassuolo. I think Sassuolo, in the end, they were just not clinical. There was a couple of own goals, but it was back and forth. That was a really good game.
Watched Bologna Sampdoria. It looked like Sampdoria was going to come out of the hole. You know, they tied it up in the 73rd or 74th, and not even a couple of minutes after Arnautovic scores, called for offside. They revise. No, okay, it was actual goal. Mihalovic gets the win, but Sampdoria, Steve, what did you say? They have to do a retiro, but it doesn't look very good for Sampdoria.
No. Doesn't look good for Sampdoria. Doesn't look good for Cagliari. I don't know where Genoa is in over there, but they're them too. Now, again, another new coach. Look, that's unfortunately the downfall of Serie A, is that there's no imagination sometimes.
Unfortunately. So, Angie, you know, we're tied for first place. This team is above us. They go tie Verona. I'm going to ask you.
Again. Now we're going to start. I saw all the Napolitan tiers, all the pizzeria, the Cornetti tiers, the margarita pizza tiers. There was an excuse for everything.
They were up, but I wanted to ask, Angie, are they for real, according to you? Are they going to battle for the Scudetto? Are we going to be battling for them in the top four? Are you afraid of them? And, you know, we're facing them December 19th. What do you feel about Napoli so far?
I'm never afraid of Napoli, ever. My annoyance is with our own team, because I felt like yesterday they really had the opportunity to take them, and they did just the bare minimum, you know, to get by and just keep sliding through. And it's like, no, I just want to overtake them because we are better than them. I know we're better than them. But it's, again, you had to go and tie and do the bare minimum, and we're going to have the drama for the entire season. I think we're going to overtake them. I'm not worried about that.
We gotta love the drama. And speaking of drama, Steve,
yeah,
2 man up, 2 red cards, and they just couldn't get the 3 points. And you said you saw a lot of Napoli tears, Steve. You're saying
Napoli is always the victim, you know. Club del Sud, they have this nostalgia of the whole Maradona thing and how he won them the championship. I get it, guys. Again, tell your owner. You had 10 years. You had to pony up some cash. This team has no excuse. The excuse is that their owner does not want to spend money. He wants to be on the plus side of the green. He wants to be the Italian Arsenal. Then don't complain that you have no Scudetto in the last 10 years. And that horrific, disgraceful, disgusting jersey that they had on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what the fuck was that?
Guys. Whoever approved that, and from what I read, apparently Diego's son did not approve that jersey.
Was it like a fingerprint?
Why. I don't know if it's a fingerprint, but it was like, guys, are we playing in Serie A, or are we playing in Toro Campo here in Montreal, or whatever Sunday league you play in your country? And I get it. You want to create new things. But this is an iconic player. And you know what? I criticized, and I'm not afraid to say it. I criticized Napoli's Argentinian style.
It was better than this.
I still didn't like it, because I think Napoli has to be Napoli and Argentina has to be Argentina. But it was much better than this.
Yeah,
this looked like, Gianfranco. He made his own. My son Gianfranco made his own jersey on FIFA 2022.
It was pretty bad, but
they're gonna say, Vinny. They're gonna say this is because they fought to Armani. This is Armani, and it's not even Armani. I think Armani is just a shirt sponsor. So, like again, I don't feel bad. I don't have a soft spot. Oh, you know what? If anybody has to win the Scudetto this year, I want it to be Napoli. Never. No. Zero. Not Napoli. You know what? I would feel happier if, Fiorentina won the Scudetto. But even then, I have a problem with everybody. We gave you this 10-year window. A
And
10-year window.
to Alessandro saying the red cards came at the end, I understand that, but when you have 6 minutes of extra time and you're 2-man up and you're Napoli and you're bombarding, you should be scoring.
From the
Guys, let me know.
From the 86 minute to the 96 minutes is 12 minutes, guys.
And then we had Lotito versus Lotito. Steve, guys, let me know if my video is like going bright, dark. I see it from my camera. I don't know what the fuck it's doing, but Lotito versus Lotito. Nothing to write home here, Steve. Lazio beating Salernitana 3-0. Nothing to talk about here.
Lazio, they're gonna say that they're back on the right track again. Jerry Mancini is gonna say that Ciro Immobile is the king. Yeah, thank you. Against Salernitana, he's the king. Angie's the queen of Salernitana.
And so
That's
I'm gonna pull up just the final tables for now. We can definitely comment on that. But and we're back on. Oh, by the way, Steve, just announced to everybody that next Monday we are taking a day off, a well-deserved day off, right? Because it's all international and
it's a real international break, though, not like the last time that we thought it was international break.
Yes, exactly. But we will be back on Monday because we're playing Fiorentina on the 20th. So we'll be back on the 22nd. So this is what it looks like right now. Angie, how are you feeling 12 weeks in? And I was telling Steve today, I went to see him, that if you look at all the leagues, let's look at him. Let's look at him right now. If you look at all the leagues, so the Premiership, Steve, the best league in the world, correct? 11 games played, number one Chelsea, 26 points. Let's look at France, 13 games for Paris Saint-Germain, 34 points, but one extra game from over here. Then you have Germany, Bayern Munich, 11 games, 28 points. Spain, Real Sociedad, 13 games, 28 points. So the most boring league in the world, Serie A. Looking at all these points, you have two teams at 32 points. What are you happy of these standings? Do you think we have enough to keep it up in this battle? And we can't be complaining at the 12 first record since 1995, 1996 to get 32 points out of 12 games. But what are you feeling looking at this table?
No, the reason I'm so confident that we're going to overtake Napoli is Dave and I were looking at their schedule, Napoli's schedule. They haven't really been playing many the higher teams on this table. They've gone through all the easier ones, and we haven't, right? So we're about to take those teams on. And that's why I feel so confident we're going to overtake them in terms of points, because they're just, they've got the goal differential, but they're not going to be able to keep that up. They're not even going to be able to keep up the wins.
If I remember correctly, and again, you guys, thank you that you brought it up, because thank God we have a woman of your excellence and organization on this podcast, because we were going to forget about that. If I'm not mistaken, I think Napoli has played Roma, and Napoli has played Juventus. Okay. They have not, and they have played Fiorentina. I'm just naming them because they're at 7, but I think they still have to play Lazio. They still have to play Inter, and they still have to play Milan, obviously. So,
if I'm looking right now, Napoli, Venezia, Genoa, they've played Juventus, Udinese, Sampdoria, Cagliari, Fiorentina, Torino, Roma, Bologna, Salernitana. Yeah. So you're
so next, I think for them is Lazio or Inter.
Next one, fixtures. Inter Napoli on the 20th.
And then after that, I think Lazio,
Sassuolo, Atalanta. And we have Fiorentina.
Fiorentina, Sassuolo, Udine.
Exactly. So no, I like. Thank you, Angie, for you see. We got to bring her on more often. Look at that organization. So I like what you think, Steve. How about you? Looking at these standings, it's going to come up to. Do you even have a prediction? Go Campione d'Inverno, even if that doesn't mean shit.
Doesn't mean shit. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear anybody tweet from it. People should be banned who tweet that.
All right, so let's go through some questions. I love how it's like, Steve, let's start early. We're going to keep not a lot of questions. Look at us. Angie's here, an hour and 15 minutes. Let's look at Paulie from Patreon saying, let me just double check here. Yes, so Polly. What is he telling us, Polly? Hold on a second. These new computers, let's capisce. Good evening, Vinny and Steve and Angie. How confident are we that we can sustain our form for the entire season? It's clear we're struggling on the right wing and a backup number 9. How many reinforcements would you suggest we go in January for Milan always? I like what he's saying, like, the sustain our form. We saw that we weren't able to sustain this form last year, finishing first and all this, but reinforcements, we get these questions every single week, and it's not about who do we want, it's like who can we afford, or rolling those dices. Angie, I'm going to ask you, do you think we can maintain this kind of form? Do you think there's a difference between our beginning of the struggles of Milan last year to this one year?
I still think we have a pretty deep bench. I think we're going to be okay. That's just what I see it.
She's very positive, and she's a positive lady.
I'm very confident.
She's
on the Fanta bus.
She is on the Fanta
She's
bus.
on the Fanta bus, and
because she just said, David, we have a deep bench.
I know that it's Angie rules, but I know David, he said, please, Steve is gonna try to get you off the bus. I need you to just do one thing for me, just stay on the bus. For me to answer Paulie's question, we're not deep enough. We are not deep enough. We saw with a lot of things are going our way, guys. You wanna call it, and you do need luck. I'm not saying you don't need luck to win the Scudetto. It's absolutely part of the whole journey.
Yeah.
But a lot of things have been going our way. The Balotore is going our way. The not having a right wing is going our way. The not having someone besides Giroud when Ibra's hurt to fill in that number 9 role.
The amount of injuries
that we've had, and still have been positive and still have not lost to this date, knock on wood, in the Campionato. No one would have been able to predict this. The same as last year, no one would have been able to predict us to be at the top of the table at around Christmas time.
Yes, Presidente. Sorry, he said to check my autofocus. That's why it's been flashing like this. But usually it's for the podcast, it's for the audio. Next question from Gio, but he never has a question. Keep up the great work, guys. January come by any fast. We need a right wing badly. Also, after yesterday game, do you feel Kalulu will get more game time? Oh, he's got a question. Angie, how about you? Do you think Kalulu should be getting more game time? Since we have such a deep bench, right, Angie?
Yes. Why not?
Okay, so Angie says it should be getting more. Steve,
yes,
definitely has to get definitely more, because once we get everybody back, we're gonna need to be able to switch these players around. Fabio, that was there, that met you yesterday, and he's in the comments. Hey, boys, just wanted to say it was amazing to be with all the fans yesterday in New York. Only thing that could have made it better was having our Canada brothers with us. We hear you, buddy. My question is more begging for Maldini and company to please buy a player for our right side. Keep up the great work, and always Forza Milan. Steve, I sense something reoccurring in this right wing, and Fabio had a good idea. Get me a right wing. Get me an effing right wing should be a T-shirt.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
And right wing is what? Is like a bad side or good side in politics?
I believe the left
right wing
is wrong, right? Is it? Angie's is
the right wing.
The right wing is bad.
Politics.
I was setting you up for that one.
Yeah, you really were.
Okay, hold on. Right wing is Biden, or right wing is Donald Trump?
No, you do RW, so you don't have to. Just give me an RW. Yes. Okay. So who would be is
Donald Trump is the right wing.
Okay, so we can't say right wing is RW.
Yeah,
that would be a fantastic. It would be a huge T-shirt. Huge.
Don't get me started, Steven.
Gigi Lapata just saying, do you think that Tatarusano has not gained the respect of his teammates after yesterday's penalty? Steve, I think you answered that one by just with Kajar, give him the hug and give him the recognition. So I know we did give a bit of our indigestion. Steve, you gave your indigestion. I gave my brioche with Florenzi. Angie, do you have any, this is the way we go. We put you on the spot. Do you have an indigestion or maybe a brioche of the week? Anything that makes you feel good, or think about it, right? Steve, you gave us your indigestion. Do you have a brioche? What's your brioche?
Yes, I do. The brioche is the derby itself. It was really, really entertaining. Again, I said it at the beginning of the show. It is my brioche. Fantastic for what we want to prove on this side of the pond, that soccer is entertaining, football is entertaining. What you're watching in MLS, unfortunately, no disrespect to MLS, is not football. It's You're watching something that's trying to be football, and again, it's a very young league compared to all these other leagues. But what you saw yesterday, the passion of the Derby della Madonnina and all the other derbies that that Italy has, and you see there was the Manchester City derby as well. I called it Manchester City because United's in shambles, but there was that type of derby too. That's the passion. That's what Europe and European football brings to North America. Again, the only thing that was missing was a result because Americans and Canadians don't understand ties.
My indigestion is gonna have to go to Il Striscione today, guys. Curva Sud, I love you. I love your passion, but what happens is that when you pick at somebody, a la Çalhanoğlu, you gave him fire. He played good this first game. He played for like shit for 10 games straight, and he just wanted to, rub it in our faces. And unfortunately, it kind of worked. Now you put Striscione today saying, courage is not scoring, 10 minutes into the game. It's, staying with your wife when you've been, when she cheated on you. I think that was a bit much. There's times for passion. Okay, I'm trying. It was very much. I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that either. Let's be honest. In the curva, they're gonna watch or they're not gonna watch, or someone's gonna translate to him. Let's call a spade a spade. They crossed the line.
They did.
They crossed the line.
That was.
You
good.
went to the man's family.
It's I always remember the one that they had made for Moratti back in the day, saying, with all this money you're spending, Moratti, why don't you go to the dentist and spend 2,000 euros? These are fun because you're talking about but when you're going into a family and wife, it's like that's really crossing the line. I did not like that one.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like when the Juventus, and you know what? We have to be fair, because the Juve and Torino, that Derby della Mole, there's always the whole Superga thing, which is absolutely fucking blows my mind how they can make a striscione about a humongous plane crash that wipes out a whole team. There's the Lazio and Roma derby where they're continuously always going after each other, with stupid remarks and fascist remarks. So if you're happy and you're happy with this striscione, you have to take 2 minutes and you have to think about the other teams where you would say, hey, this crossed the line. And I think if those guys, or if it is La Curva, I don't know who put it up. They say La Curva, but no one really says. If it is them, they have to take 2 steps back. And I get the passion, love it inside the stadium. But once you get out of the stadium and you go to the man himself, is fine. You go to the man's family. For me, you cross the line.
Angie, did you think of a brioche or a indigestion? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it positive. So I'm going to give it to Milan marketing and their outreach, because I think yesterday's event was like almost like a turning point. I think that they were doing a great job. It was an incredibly generous event. And I think that they're finally understanding just how many and how passionate the fans are on this side of the Atlantic, right? So I think this is, a sign of great things to come.
Yeah.
And hopefully it can only get better from here.
And Angie, you I know you're a positive person, but you gotta have an indigestion. You don't have any something that got to you?
My only indigestion yesterday was poor Dave and his indigestion on the train ride home.
Oh boy.
Tum 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 tum.
So you really need an brioche. So maybe we'll send them a bottle of brioche. And guys, I completely forgot before we say goodbye to everybody. Did you guys see Wanda posted a picture with Maxi Lopez? Did you see? I think they're getting back together now. I think she's trying to get Icardi jealous.
No.
You did not see it?
You guys need to read the articles, guys. You guys need to read the articles, the Milan chat, and the whole world. Stop just reading headlines. Read the article.
I just love talking about it. It's like General Hospital.
It's just the picture was taken because, from what I've read, during this whole Icardi
Sabrina.
and Icardi and Wanda saga, or whatever the hell is happening, their really screwed up relationship. I think Maxi Lopez stepped up the way a father should do and helped her with taking care of her children. So let's not. He didn't recreate the whole marital structure. If they do get back together, that would be really strange. That's not my catsies. But I think that picture was, and I think for his well doing in terms of taking care and being responsible, she dropped all the lawsuits against him.
That's it.
So
Yeah, I remember seeing the lawsuits.
It's not this beautiful fairy tale that we want to make it up to be, or this scandalous thing. There's reasons behind
I
it.
watch professional wrestling. Let me have a bit of fun.
It's honestly a script from the WWE. That's what it is.
Love it. Guys, thank you so very much for sticking with us. Angie, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with David for 17 and a half years, being a Milanista, keeping him whole. We can't wait to see you guys live. And guys, remember, next Monday, no podcast. If there's any specials, you guys will know, like whatever Stevie P. I don't know if you have any special interviews coming up. President is probably
We're
gonna
see maybe this Thursday, 221.
And we'll see it, guys. Subscribe. Oh, hold on a second, Steve. You know what? We always forgot to do. Here we go. Subscribe. See, got a little subscribe there, right? Click. Put those notifications on.
It looks like Angie's not wearing a shirt.
And from Angie, the first lady, from Stevie P, from Vinny T, and most importantly, from my burgundy turtleneck, ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan, guys. Ciao.
Vincerai, non ti lascio.